YouTube. I am here today at the beach, Lake Tahoe, lovely day out, and I want to talk. I feel drawn to talk about wealth and what that means, and freedom and what that means. And I kind of touched over it in my last video, but I'm going to go more into depth. So, for me, for a lot of people, I think that there's a lot of self-limiting beliefs that we come into due to our programming when we're young around money and the concept of money and what it means to be wealthy and how to ascertain to that, right? And so people that are born into wealthy families, a lot of times they're shown actual skills of like money management and how to account and invest and stuff, but more so I think because there's two levels of it. There's a metaphysical side and then there's a physical side of it. So when we're talking the metaphysical side of it, most people feel lack, and they say they're waiting for an external circumstance to happen in their life before they can feel internally free or wealthy or whatever emotion they're striving for, right? But what I'm saying is that you can practice training your brain to feel a certain way, and that actually sets your subconscious mind to potentially have that drawn into your field quicker, at a quicker pace. So yeah, for me, something that I definitely worked on and I needed to work on in my own self was getting rid of the feeling of lack and feeling abundant, feeling free, feeling grateful for what I have, and cultivating that emotion on a daily basis until it started to manifest in my real world. And so I'm a huge believer in energy and our thoughts create our reality and yada yada, but you can't just sit in a room and think that your money is going to grow just by feeling a certain emotion. That is the first step, yes, but then you actually have to take practical steps to start to get there. And those steps require learning. Something that we never really were taught was the fundamentals of how to grow wealth, how to manage wealth, how compound interest works, and how once you get over a certain amount in your portfolio, it starts to become way easier to generate wealth. So, it took me years to get to a position that I'm in, but I have, consistently been working on changing my mind state and my belief patterns around being wealthy and my worthiness of receiving that, and then also taking the practical steps to free myself, right? So the way that I look at it is we are going and we're trading our time, which is our most valuable asset. The one thing you won't get back in this life is your time, and that's all we have. We're trading our time for a dollar that they can print trillions of every 100 days, right? And it's a losing game. Most people don't realize that is a losing game. You're trading your time for a depreciating asset, then you're going to be losing, right? So how do we change that? And there is things that we buy, and most people are stuck in the process of buying liabilities, things that cost them money and take money out of their pocket to keep up with the Joneses or keep up with appearances. I need to have the newest phone and a nice car, and that doesn't really build wealth. That really puts people in financial strain a lot of time, right? Trying to manage that. So what the difference is instead of buying liabilities, you start to buy assets, things that actually bring money back into your pocket and bring you wealth. And so, now I have a pretty good portfolio built up, and every time I get paid and anytime I have a little bit of capital, the first thing I do is pay myself. And what I mean by that is I take a portion of my money, as much as I can feasibly do without putting any strain on myself, and reinvest it. And as I continue to do that, my investments now have been making me more than I have been working my normal job or whatever. So year after year for the last 4 years, my portfolio has been growing and expanding and bringing me a lot of income and freedom with that, right? Because with that comes more opportunities and chances to break into different business opportunities and ideas. So where my head's at now is I'm trying to get into some real estate, and I think that owning land is a powerful thing, and it was something that my parents never did. My grandparents did, but my parents never had a house. And for me, having a family or passing on generational wealth, that is true power. Having land and having something that is a money-making machine without really having to do much, right? So, yeah, getting a little off topic, talking about where my goals are, but how do we gain that freedom in our life? Freedom, wealth. I think that money is part of that, but it also comes into your relationships. Are you free and wealthy in your relationships? Do you have people you can express yourself with and be fully yourself and trust and call when you need them, right? Do you have health? Do you have a body that you can move and do the things that you love to do and want to do? Because that is part of being wealthy. That's part of being free, right? Are you living in a state of fear, or are you living in a state where you have faith and you have love and trust that everything will work out for the best? And those things all tie into our level of freedom and what we are able to do on this earth. So I'm trying to become fully free, because this matrix is, keeping a lot of people enslaved due to addictions and entertainment, distractions, and, you name it. There's so much going on now. It's easy to get lost. So to me, becoming free is releasing a lot of those attachments and those, those negative feelings, and then working towards that actual feeling of freedom on all levels. So yeah, that's what I feel drawn to talk about today. As the financial system is changing and we're going into this future, the financial system has kind of kept us enslaved as humanity, because it's corrupted every other facet of business. And by that, capitalism, people trying to cut corners, trying to make money, end up polluting, end up doing things that aren't the best business, morally, in order to capitalize on that, right? So when we start to change that system, which I really do believe is coming soon, then we can hopefully get into a freer place, right? Because it all starts with the monetary system. People are so lost because they have to go work so much. They don't have much time to do inner journey and seek for themselves, because they're so busy just keeping up or paying rent and dealing with that whole process. So being able to get free is having the time that you want and the money you want to be with the people that you want to be with and do the things you want to do. And in order to do that, we need to start thinking about buying assets that will enable us to grow our wealth, so that we can have more time with the people that we love and doing the things that we do and not have to stress about it. They say that on average that you would need 1.2 million to retire comfortably, and most people are retiring with way less than that, thinking that Social Security or pensions or whatever is going to help them to float through, when realistically we need to take our own financial security into our own hands and start being wiser. Like, we look at our government and it's like, how are you guys $36 trillion in debt? That isn't our doing. That isn't our decisions. I'm not telling you go spend more money if you don't have it, right? Because if I did that, that would destroy my credit, and then I would be bankrupt and I'd have to pay back all this debt. But for whatever reason, the people that are in charge of the country are doing that. So thinking about that, we got to free ourselves, right? If they're not going to help us, well, then we have to start making those decisions. There are a lot of very good opportunities right now, I believe, in the investment world. And maybe in a later video I'll go into that, because I know there's legality issues about saying stuff. I'm not a financial advisor. But I know that what I have invested in has made me a lot of money, and I think it's going to make me a lot more money. So as I continue to do research and grow and share what I have, I hope to touch more people. They talk about the law of affection, and the amount of money that you make is directly correlated to how many people you directly affect, right? So a business owner affects more people than the employee might, and so they might make more money than the employee. Someone who is affecting millions of people has an opportunity to change a lot of lives and therefore make more money. And so my intention isn't so much the money. I just want to spread some of the information that I have that has positively changed my life. And if I make money in the interim, that would be great. But you know, a lot of people tell me that I should be teaching, so that's what I'm here to do, is share. So hopefully you learned something today, and yeah, I'll post another video soon.